KK.
Hi, I'm Kristen, and together we're K&K Crochet.
And she about to get a lesson on how to push the button so we can record.
I was messing with her.
Okay, so today is a blanket update. I know y'all are like, oh my gosh, it's that C2C woman. What's wrong with her? What's she doing now? But you know what? It's November. As of today, it's November 9th. I'm not sure when you'll see this, but it's not going to be that much longer, and these are going to go away. I'm not saying there's not going to be new ones, though, because I have a plan for next year. Now, do I plan like 10 blankets next year? Nope. But we'll see what happens.
You better not.
Whatever the C2C does, it does, right? I know that I do only C2C now because I've found that I can do that and I don't need a border. Or I can add a border. I really am bored with the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth this way, horizontally. I just can't do it. I can't do those stitches back and forth like this on blankets. It's just not me. Now, there's nothing wrong with a blanket like that. People make them and they're gorgeous. Now, I do like granny square blankets. I may get back to doing some of those. Those make me quite happy because they go round and round and round and keep growing. And yep, I'm a mathematical person. I think that's why I like the C2C and the granny square because it is a mathematical shape. Yes, I know you get a shape going back and forth too, but I don't like it. I like squares and rectangles and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm not sure I've shown this blanket at all. If I did, it's been a while, and I haven't made a whole lot of progress on it because it's been on the back burner. Because I said this one is a maybe a Christmas gift and maybe a welcome back to the state gift. Because I have a friend who splits her time between 2 states, and so she visits Florida in the winter and comes back here for Christmas, and then goes back to Florida again and comes back for the summer here. So it may be that she gets this as a Christmas gift, and it may be she gets this as a thinking of you gift after Christmas if I don't get it finished. Let's be real. We all know if my arm's falling off, I'm probably going to try to make sure it's done. But, you know, it is what it is. So here's her blanket that I have started on, and this is where it's at. Last night I put about 7 rows, I think, on it. Just because this one's stupid easy, right? I mean that I don't mean that in an ugly way. I just mean it's easy. There's no color changes. This is all one roll of yarn. This is Red Heart bitty stripes. I always want to say itty bitty, and I'm always going to say itty bitty. It is what it is.
Mini stripe. They should
But
call it a mini stripe.
Yeah, she likes beaches and cruises and that kind of thing, and this kind of reminded me of sand. So I thought as I started doing it, and it's so soft and squishy, totally not Red Heart-esque, but it does have a little bit of a scratch to it. So I'm going to run it through the washer and dryer after I'm finished. But that's where I'm at, and I got my little stitch marker on there. Oh, stand still. There we go. My little Christmas wreath. Yay! So that's where that one is, and I've been not touching that one. This is what's left of that roll of yarn. I'm still working on it. I'm hoping it gets pretty far. That's like 33 inches. So it's going to be like a throw size. And then there's this one. I try not to work on the tan one because I really want this one to get finished. This one has to get finished or nobody gets their Christmas blankets this year. Because if they all can't have one, nobody's getting one. So this is my oldest son's, and this is the one that I was talking about. Should I rip it out or redo it or keep going when I was doing the half double crochet? And so I ripped it out and I redid it. I changed the pattern and I changed the stitch. It was a half double crochet with the other pattern, and so this pattern is a double crochet C2C, and I completely changed the pattern up to go back to the one that I did for my youngest son, and hopefully I can get this to you can see it without all the strings hanging because they are everywhere. That's not going to happen because I haven't woven them in yet.
I haven't seen this one.
Alright, so here's the bottom part. There you go. You can start to see. Let me get my hand through all that. Alright, and you can start to see. I put it up last night and I was aggravated, so that's why all the strands are every which way, because I usually go through and make sure they're clear. Okay, I have some work to do up here where we talk about where, that's why I didn't want to redo this pattern, where they meet and the black goes through the brown, so I have to fix that. But there's the deer head. It's his silhouette, and I did go with Red Heart Black and Cafe Latte, right? Yep. And so I really like the way it turned out. This is what I had originally planned, and then I decided no, I'd do this other one that was a full body deer, which is gorgeous, but it looked more like an elk. It had this huge rack of horns at the top and like widespread, and not like something we have here in West Virginia. So this is the one side. That's its ear. I'm already over here starting up the
that
other side
ear.
with the ear, and here's the horns that are branching up out here. So I am at the halfway point and decreasing. Yep. I believe this is my stitch marker from Jack's. Pretty sure. Yep. I'm trying to remember who sent me that Christmas wreath.
Was it a part of the...
I don't know if it was a part of the stuff from
Advent calendar.
From Cindy at Life and You're Entangled, or if it was from Miss C. I'm not sure. Okay, and this is the hook I'm using, and this is a size J, and I can't remember where this hook came from. I know it came from Jack's, but I can't remember the maker of the hook, but I'm going to find it and link it below, because thebomb.com right here, I'm telling you, this is the best hook, and I thought, I'm not going to like that because it's long and pointy, and
it's epoxy.
Well,
and you like the silicone,
but I'm telling you, sometimes it pays to try new things. I didn't think I'd like it, not because of the hook itself, because I'm just weird that way. And I thought it would be too long for my hands, the way it comes down. But I love it. It feels awesome. So don't judge a book by its cover. I love this because this reminds me of 80s, but it also reminds me of, I don't know, there was something that we had growing up that this reminded me of. It might have been the pens that we had that had the water in them. And when you went back and forth, the glitter went back and forth like that. But anyway, I love this hook. I'm going to post it down below. Look at her trying to take it. No.
I'm just looking.
This is the hook. You can't have it. This is the hook.
It's gorgeous, though.
You can't have it.
I'm not taking it.
It's
I'm saying
favorite.
It's gorgeous.
I have used this on both those blankets that you just saw. I absolutely love it. It is my go-to hook. I've misplaced it at least once and had a fit because I was trying to find it. It's mine. So
I'm not gonna take it.
I just absolutely love the colors when you look in there and
it's
see all that.
It's not doing it justice. It's so pretty.
It's so not, and it's, I don't know. I can't describe. I don't know. It's
gorgeous.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It feels good, and she's right. I am an ergonomic hook user, a boy ergonomic hook user, almost to a fault. I can tell you that I used furl hooks and don't like them.
But I like furl hooks.
I don't like furls. I do have a couple. I have one that's Christmas colored, and I use it because it's Christmas colored.
I have a coffee color one.
Yep. And I think I might have one more. I'm not sure. It may be that one I'm thinking of that I gave her. But this hook, don't judge a book by its cover. You never know just by looking at a hook whether or not you're going to love it. And this one, it just feels good. When you use it, and my hands don't get tired with this hook like they do, even more so than with the boy ergonomics. This does not tire my hand out. It's even better than that. And I can't explain it because it is like a resin, I guess. But it works. I don't know what it is about it. And I am I'm a knife holder, right? Yeah. This is pencil grip. This is a knife holder. Okay. So I hold my hook like this. And I tend to hold this one up here close because there's like a thumb rest type right here. And I tend to do this. But I love it. I love it. Now, it has gotten caught in this red heart yarn. This bitty stripes yarn. That's not the hook's fault. That's the yarn. Because it doesn't get caught on anything else I use. I absolutely love this hook. Thank you, Jack, so much. And I'm going to put the name of the person that it came from, or the link. Or at least I'll put the link to the Bumblebee, the Belle video. That's when Belle came back to visit us. It has a link into it. So maybe I'll just put the link to that video and you can go look in the description box there for this hook. I don't know anything about the company that makes them. I do think it's an individual company. Like, it's not a
corporation.
Yeah, like it's a personal
small business.
Thank you. That's the words I'm looking for. But her stuff is, and I'm pretty sure she made the stitch marker too. And then this is my stitch marker that's down here. This is
It's a little lollipop.
Yeah, and that's from Teresa at Critters Crochet, and she sent that for our Decade Divas party. And so what I did is, this is here not to mark a stitch, but to mark the right side for me. So that way when I'm crocheting, I know that this is the very first corner I made. This is the front of the blanket, because there's a graphic on it. Like, normally it wouldn't matter if there wasn't a graphic, but because there's a graphic on it, I can look at this and say, oh, I'm supposed to be at the top of the graph here, or I'm supposed to be at the bottom of the graph down here, working my way back up. And I don't have to go back 15 million times and look at this square in this black crazy yarn to try and figure out which way this square goes after you've already crocheted the rest of the squares into it. So that just helps me save my...
You said making your way back up made me think of a song, and it's really hard not to sing it right now.
So, so just a little tip, like if you are dealing with a Graphgan and you're trying to, it will save you time in the long run if you just add a little stitch marker right there at the bottom where you start, and that way when you're looking at it and if you're crocheting and you see that, then you know that, you know, which side you're on and where you're working, because a lot of times if you don't do that, then you're looking at it and going, am I at the top or the bottom? And I did start getting really smart. And I do have a stitch marker in the last stitch, obviously, but that doesn't always tell you where you're at. But I did also start getting really smart and marking my graph where I end. If I'm in the middle of a row, then I circle the stitch that I'm starting on and point an arrow and put the date. And that way I know where I'm at. So just a couple of tips for C2C. And you may have known them and say, oh, I know about that. Or you may go, oh, I didn't think about that. So hopefully help somebody along the way. Show you a new hook. It is my new favorite. It is my go-to. I've used it for hats. I've used it for both these blankets. It's been what's been in my hand more than anything else lately. I just really love it. I do think the color has something to do with that. It's not pink, but it is.
It's close enough to pink.
It's very flashy, like it's not neon, but it, to me, I know that most people wouldn't look at that and see 80s, but I do. Lots of sparkle.
It reminds me of the
glitter.
shawl that you made for yourself. With the happy.
With the happy from Mandala. Yeah, Mandala. Yeah. It just, to me, that's still 80s. It's very sparkly. It's very bright. It's very colorful. It's very happy. So I really, really like it. It also kind of reminds me of an Astropop. The suckers that we used to eat that were green. You don't know what an Astropop is? Oh, man, does this child need some education. It was a sugar sucker that was shaped like that. And it had red and green. And, yep, very, very, very good. Yep, we'll have to get an Astropop now. All right, that's all I have for today. That's our updates for blankets. And yes, I know it's been a blankety kind of year. I was going to count before I came on, but I'm not sure. Let's see. I had my Grinch blanket. I did my youngest son's deer blanket like this one. I did Kristen's Squishmallow blanket. I did
Linus Project.
The Linus Project blanket. I did
baby blanket.
Baby blanket for Christmas. The mushroom blanket for Christmas. My husband's fire blanket for Christmas. The blue ocean blanket. And then this deer blanket. And then the tan blanket I'm working on. So, yep, that's 10.
You made 2 baby blankets.
I did make, but all of the other one, that one wasn't C2C. 10 C2C blankets that are gifts for Christmas, or one went to donation. So that's 10 for the year. That's a record for me, above and beyond, because the one blanket that I finished this year, for me, the Grinch, I started at the end of last year. So if I finish all these before the end of December, that will mean 10 in a year. The most I've ever made in a year was 4, I think. There might have been a few others, but I made 4 for them for Christmas one year and didn't finish mine that year. So 10. And granted, one of those was baby blanket, but it still was
a blankie.
It was probably a 36 by 36 or something like that. So I'm excited and looking forward to the new year. I do have blanket plans for the new year. They do not include blankets for all my friends. Actually, they do include blankets for donation, and we'll talk about that as the new year begins. But I have a plan, and it's not going to be, I'm going to make 50 blankets for... Nah, we ain't doing that. It's going to be no pressure, but I do have a plan coming forth in the new year about what I'm going to be doing and why, and we'll figure out the how as we get farther into it, and maybe you'll want to join along. Who knows? I do like C2C. I'm a creature of habit. Now, will I find something next year I like better? Maybe. Do I have some other plans for other things next year? Yes, I do.
Will I make a blanket like next year? Who knows? Probably not.
A blanket list? No, I doubt that.
A what?
Did you say a blanket list?
No, a blanket.
Oh, well, you've made a blanket before. You made the mood blanket.
I made a blanket this year, but it was a baby blanket and it was knitted.
Yeah, it was pretty too.
I mean, a C2C. Probably not. Who knows?
You might like C2C if you tried it.
I know. I knew
You did C2C. You did a wall hanging that was a pumpkin.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens next year. I have not done really well at keeping up with what I've done this year as far as pictures. You guys have seen it, but on my Facebook page or community tab or whatever, I haven't shown a lot. So Next year I hope to do better with that. I don't know why I'm talking about next year now. It's just November. But I'm thinking the wheels are turning. But I will be doing some blankets next year. It won't be Graphgans like this.
No.
I do have one Graphgan planned for next year already. And
Graphgan.
yes.
You just said you're not doing a Graphgan.
I said most of them won't be. But I do have one that I did find that I want to do. And it is going to be for donation, for a particular donation. And I will need to start on it early because after this year I'm tired and want to do something different to cleanse my palette. But I will need to start on that one to have time to get it done because it'll need to be done by the end of October. So I do have one Graphgan coming in the new year already that's not on the hook, but it's in my brain. And I think it's saved in my phone as a picture. So, there are lots of them I would like to do. If I could get my mind set to the point where I could just crochet a little at a time on them each night or each week, then I would be better off and be able to do them all. But I don't have that mindset. I have this is fun. Look how we're working through this. And oh my goodness, let's get up to like 20 rows. And that's the beginning.
I start making it and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it to be done.
Well, then I go, let's get halfway through. Let's get to the round off point where we start to close it off and decrease, up the one side. Okay, I'm good. And then by that time, I'm pretty tired. Well, let's get to the top where we can start to decrease across the top. Well, let's get to the halfway point of that side, and then let's get done. And those are kind of the four quadrants that it goes in. And I kind of want that to happen in 4 days, but that's not possible. The first 20 rows is possible in a day. The last 20 rows, I've even done 30 rows, or maybe even 35 or 40 in the last day, especially if they're all one color. And I think it's more like 30. I don't think it was 40 rows. I've done 30 rows in a day. It was really pushing it, and I was very tired at the end of the day. But it's doable. If it's, 30 rows and you're going back and forth, it's doable. Because the last 30 rows, it just decreases one each time. So, it's like if you're doing an 80 row blanket, when you're doing the last 30, well, it takes, almost 3 rows of that to equal one of the regular rows you were doing. So that makes sense. But I kind of want it to be the first 20 rows, then get to the middle point or the end point of the width, then get to the end point of the height, and then get to the finish line. 4 days. That's what I want to do it in. But it doesn't happen with a Graphgan. So, yeah, I do have one in mind, and it's a particular special one. And, we'll see. I'm not sure. It's kind of a Graphgan, but it's a C2C with color changing that creates a pattern, but it's not as much the pixelated, kind of like it's not like the frog or anything like that. But it is, I need to go back and look at it again. It's been a while. But it's for a particular place, and it's for donation. And so, we'll talk about that as we get to January or maybe even December late. We'll talk about goals and what we want to do for the next year. I am not going to have a goal of, what did I start out with this year? I had a goal of 6 blankets.
5 blankets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, just
everybody in the family.
I don't think you were doing one for the baby yet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One for me too.
Oh yeah.
Because I had one already on the hook. So I had a goal to finish mine and do 5 more. So that would have been 6. Well, if I finish these 2, that's 10. So I tend to. So that's why I don't set goals like that, because then I go, I wanna, and I still have that deadline in mind for Christmas. And then I'm in trouble because I go, but I should do one for so-and-so. Oh, but if I do one for them, I need to really do one for this one. And if I do that, then I really need to do that. Yeah, no. Nope. Last year I did 2, I think. One was for my mom, one for my mother-in-law. And they were not C2C, surprisingly. They were filet crochet. They were Fiber Spiders which way filet. And Mom got I think it was a burgundy one or a pinkish color one, and my mother-in-law got a yellow one.
It was Red Heart, Ombre, and Anemone. I remember that because I like the name.
And then my mother-in-law got a yellow one because that's her favorite color. So that was last year's blankets. It was 2. No big deal, right? And I thought that was going to kill me. And if in January somebody would have said, you're going to do 10 blankets plus all your other stuff this year, I would have said, you're crazy as you look. But Apparently I'm the crazy one. So it's okay though. I've enjoyed it. I really have. And it has been a joyful journey to make these blankets. And I just hope that they are appreciated and loved as much as I loved making them. And yep, I'm going to get off here because I got blankets to make before Christmas. It's time to get busy. You guys too. Don't forget.
I do need to get busy. That's not even a joke.
I have other things to make for Christmas too. I think I have one other thing. I'm not sure what it is yet. And quite frankly, if I don't make it, I'll just buy something that's all good because it's for my friend that I made a blanket for last year. Actually, I made 3 last year. I forgot I made hers.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but 3 to 10 in 1 year.
Yeah. And I made some lap gowns last year. But anyway, it is what it is. And that's, yeah. I'm not doing it again, not like that. No, they'll be good if they ever get any more blankets like that, the Graphgans, because I don't know, it just takes time. And there are lots of them I want to do, but they take time. So anyway, we've got to get off of here. We've got donations to deliver today and donations to gather. And so we're going to do that right now and get those out of the house and get those to where they need to go so they can be put to good use. Thanks to you all. And again, we thank you for all you do. We thank you for being here. Thank you for the time that you take each and every day, because I thought about that this week. It's kind of like we just take a few minutes to sit back with friends and talk. And it's like calling each other and saying, hey, how you doing today? And I really enjoy that thought that it's a time to come together, just to, that time that you take away from the world just to be together and enjoy each other's company and to talk about what's going on in your life. That used to be a big thing when we were younger, about talking on the phone with people. And that's how you communicated, because, that was the easiest way. And people don't do that anymore. We text and we message, but we don't get to talk very often. So we enjoy the fact that you stopped by. And I think this week has been even more pressing on my mind, the fact that you actually take time out of your day to come spend time with us. And that means something, and we appreciate that so very much, that you do take moments out of your day. And we know you have other things that need done and other people that need your time and attention. But we appreciate the fact that you take some time out of your day and spend it with us and come to see how we're doing and check in and comment and like and do all the things that you do. And for those of you who have been sending hats, thank you very much. By the time you see this, I don't know how far along we will be into that. Probably really close to deadline. Like this is the 9th. So by the time you see this, it may not even be until the week of the deadline. So we'll let you know how we get along with the goal. Right at this current time, we have 1,296, including everything that we have shown lately and all the ones that we have made and all the ones that have been donated. So we'll let you know how close we get to 1,500. Don't forget to be kind, because
you don't know anyone else's journey.
And have a great week. Be kind to yourself and to others. Bye.
Bye.